They say it started like a wildfire. It's kind of funny that you had me written off dead. Now we coming for the empire. So now you love me, but you ain't seen nothing yet. Go tell and watch me, keep your eyes on me. I caught you sleeping before, and now I'm in your head. You can't close it, the doors are open. Now you ain't seen nothing yet. They say it's starting like a wildfire. I feel it spreading in a new way, but right now, change the game, build an empire. If you're ready, we can start it up. We can spark this right now. I hear the roar of the wildfire. It makes me wanna aim higher. We have to take control. I'm always chasing the path I'm facing, ignites the fire. Time to take what's yours. Stand and watch us, keep your eyes on us. Always leaving our mark, living in your head. Can't contain us, there's no escaping. Now you ain't seen nothing yet. They say it's starting like a wildfire. I feel it spreading in a new way, but right now, change the game, build an empire. If you're ready, we can spark it up. We can spark this right now.
We're just getting started. Fire in the blood, but we're still cold-hearted. Eyes on the prize, do what we gotta do to secure our rise. Like pioneers with no fear, never back down, this our frontier. Ash on the path, don't get too near. Blazing a trail, never adhere. Yeah, the road we chose is only built for the pros, and we can walk through the highs and the lows. Lunges and throws, got the crown, never letting it go. Royalty, you ain't getting the throne. Leaders of a new empire, clawed our way up from the muck and the mire. Nothing will take from us all these desires. We're at the summit, we're still going higher. We are the crucible, we are the fire.
Like a wildfire. I feel it spreading in a new way, but right now, change the game, build an empire. If you're ready, we can spark it up. We can spark. They say it's starting like a wildfire. I feel it spreading in a new way, but right now, change the game, build an empire. If you're ready, we can spark it up. We can spark this right now. New way, but right now. Right now, right now. You ain't seen nothing. You ain't seen nothing yet.
Welcome to Parallel Convergence. We are back after a couple of weeks off air thanks to holidays, bad schedules, technical difficulties, all sort of shit going on right now. But we're back. I'm Andesian. That's Dr. Manhattan, aka Squid Sports Head. Welcome. And a good evening to you, Dr. Manhattan.
Hi, yes, that was finally my cue. I see what you did there with this breaking news music. It's going to be one of those shows, isn't it?
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. There has been a lot that has happened in the world in the 18 days that we've been off air. So much so that I'm not sure that John Williams actually is, appropriate enough to cover it all. In reality, we needed more of, a Walter Cronkite cut in. But, hey, we're here now. So,
Physically and ethereally.
So, our breaking story. Well, I guess this is our breaking story. There's a lot of stories that can be said to be breaking news.
Do you need approximately 23 seconds to decide on that?
I mean, I'm not sure exactly why 23 seconds, but sure, let's go ahead and check the tweets and the email, shall we?
Tweeting, ephemeral, fleeting, Flugen web, space code, split zone, ask mode, checks the tweets, 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 und also emails.
Now you know why I said 23 seconds.
Hi, I had a job for us.
Who's the target?
It's 3. LCS Spring, LCS Summer, and Worlds. And we're going to take them all in one clean hit.
League of Legends is hard. You think you're going to pull off Spring, Summer, qualify for Worlds, still have enough to beat China and Korea? To pull that off, you're going to need the perfect crew. Who do you have in mind?
We've got young NA talent covered. We're bringing up the boys from the academy, Tenacity and Busio. We've been developing these guys for years. They're engineered to hit hooks, control vision, win lane, and post thirst traps.
Yeah. But you do know that we're going to need more than just NA rookies, right?
Oh, I know. For a job this big, we had to have the NA GOAT. And I know exactly where to find them. What? It's not who I was expecting.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Don't worry, this is actually perfect. Let's just get you cleaned up. I heard a certain someone's been getting a bit restless in the NA retirement home. Man can only take so much co-streaming.
I'm telling you, back in my day, bot lane was uphill both ways. These kids don't know how good they have it. They're so trash.
Yeah, for sure, dude.
Like seriously, I can play better than myself. And I'm almost 30.
I hope you're right about that, Grandpa. Let's get you out of here.
All right. That's pretty good. What about jungle?
You didn't think we'd lose our closer, did you?
What's up, man? Okay. I think we got this.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you just saw that right. Not only is the one and only greatest of all time, Double Lift, coming out of retirement. He's being reunited with old TSM teammate Bjergsen, and they are going to be going on a tear on 100 Thieves in the greatest heist yet. That, ladies and gentlemen, is our leadoff story this evening. 100 Thieves finally confirms all of the rumors and finally releases the roster. Bjergsen, Double Lift, Closer, Tenacity, and Busio. Now, I don't know about you, but I have said some particular words on this podcast in recent to the effect of, if Double Lift comes out of retirement, I will start watching LCS again more regularly, and by damn it, I am going to stick to that because holy shit, this is huge. This, I think, is the best team on paper. Of course, he has to put that up right as I start making predictions. This is going to be one of those fucking nights where my producer is on point in the I'm not drunk enough for you to be this on point kind of way. But I think this, at least on paper currently, I think this might be the best team on paper. And that's we have not forgotten about the fact that there are plenty of other sightings to talk about in North America, including, and trust me, we're getting to them. We got a whole fucking segment on them. Team Liquid.
So
we're not even there yet.
So you're saying we're not going to be dealing with any liquid paper, and you're keeping the liquid away from the paper? Okay.
All right, it's going to be one of those nights. Got it.
I told you. You know what I did. And just be thankful that I made the decision that I made instead of another potential decision.
All right. Well, in our next topic here, why is this doing this? Oh, no, go back. Do that. Don't do that. Do the other thing. That's right, baby. Mm-hmm. I mean, oh, wait a minute. This isn't point of viewer. There we go. Get the producer to crack up. All right, I gotta turn that off because it's causing some issues.
Fighting my whole career.
All right.
I've always.
Our next, yes, our next tab is ready to go. Jankos, 5 years at G2 is gone.
Decision
He's out.
To being the best team I can be, because I always wanted to compete on the highest level. And now with G2, I have won 4 European Championships, semifinals 2 times, and went to the finals once. I am not sure how long can I keep playing. Maybe this will be the end of the road for me next year.
At the beginning, I was pretty shocked because all I knew from him, it was like his streams, and he's kind of like, like a clown. He's like a comedian. He's like always making fun of stuff. So I didn't really expect to see someone like with such an insane discipline.
He's one of the most infectiously positive and intense individuals that you'll ever meet.
Right now, I'm just gonna make Jankos my dog.
Oh, well, you guys seem to be on a good track.
Instead of thinking about how many more games can we win, it was more about I had this feeling of I don't want to go home yet. I still want to stay here. I want to play in the semifinals. I want to play against the SKT and I want to win. I don't want to go home and watch all the players, all the competitors fighting without me.
Lots of dashing in and out, and Berg stays alive just long enough for Jankos to get there. Chain of corruption this time round starts to spread on the RNG members, and Jankos is left for dead. Wait, they're winning this! Jankos, how did you find Uzi? The G2 dynasty will be defined by taking down RNG.
Shy wanted to make it happen. Those 4 Jankos doing a good job body blocking that shuriken, thinking so they can't do anything else. They're going to be tanking the turret aggro here for now. The Shy's going to be eating the turret. Shy! Jankos might be able to make it too! Ladies and gentlemen!
Usually he likes camera. He's like our camera boy in the house.
Champions can fall, gods can bleed. Where were you when the West rose up to conquer champions? G2 Esports eliminates SK Telecom.
Oh. This is what peak League of Legends looks like, and it comes from Europe. A world record. G2 Esports 3-0 will win MSI 2019.
I think what makes that team good is that, well, we have really good team chemistry. It seems like everyone kind of gets along each other very well, and everyone listens to each other, gives feedback. So I just feel like we have everything we need to succeed.
Yeah, because you want me to say it, I will say it. You're literally better than fake.
Like we both hacked each other, and I was like screaming really hard, and I blacked out, and I just like fell down. Yeah, it happened for the first time to me.
G2, if they overstay for too long, it might go Don one to Jamie. No, that's the body slam flash. And Nuclear's coming down. Massive. That's going to be everything that they wanted, everything they can hope for. Nuclear now free to deal damage. Jake, okay, line B. Super carry, line B, super carry.
Le mata.
Nice.
Yeah, because you're really good.
Actually, like, I'm really happy with this game. The last of the LCK versus the last of the LEC. Down the win wall is not going to mean a thing. Tries to buy a bit more time. Here comes Faker on the backside. He's caught up by the Olaf. Mickey now coming in. Faker trying to go in and finish it up, but the stopwatches are there. But no, Jankos runs for the hill. This is it! The greatest team in the history of League of Legends, taken down by the greatest team Europe has ever produced. FPX, get ready. G2 is heading to Paris.
We will try to show you the best League of Legends possible. It's esport, right? It's all about emotions. I mean, we are watching and we are proud that we are winning, but also we are trying to give you a show. We are trying to make you happy. We are trying to make you emotional in front of TV, PC, whatever, so you have fun, so you enjoy it, because we enjoy sitting on stage, playing, and just doing our best. So I'm really happy that I'm happy and you are happy, hopefully too. So just play and just have fun and watch and just enjoy life. Is that cockroach?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
I know you want me. 2.95 a minute, I will leave you breathless. Doesn't matter in this roster or maybe in a different one. G2 will always stay the same and they always compete to be the best. So keep supporting the team and thank you very much. And you will probably see more of us in the future.
You look like a clown.
No, I live Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year!
Am I doing it hard enough? Hard enough for you, boy?
The only reason I wanted to side because you were out there.
I swear it feels like the end of an era with Jankos leaving G2. And I'm sad to say that given a lot of the news that's happened while we've been gone, that ain't the first or even anywhere close to the last time I'm going to be saying end of an era tonight.
Yeah. Moving, shaking. I haven't seen anything like this since college football did their last conference realignment.
Yeah, this is definitely overall esports as a whole. I think 2023 is going to be defined as an entirely new era when you really go back and look at it in the history books. I think the 2023 season is going to just overall define the start of a new era in league esports. But I am pleased to report Jankos actually has already landed on a new team. I have to go back and find it. Because, of course, I have to go back and find it. Because, of course, I didn't post it into our Discord. Because, of course, I don't do these things. But here it is. Found it. That didn't take long. Oh, there we go. Jankos is going to be moving over to Team Heretics. which is one of the new teams that are joining the league formerly known as
the LEC.
Thank you. An interesting face you should also see here. Take a look at who that is in the mid lane. Does that face look familiar to you?
Oh my.
Yep, that's DFM, or formerly DFM's Evie, the thumbs up king.
This makes sense now.
Moves over also to Team Heretics. I think he's the first player in Japan that has been drafted by a major region. I want to say, I don't remember the last time a Japanese player got drafted by a major region. And by drafted, I mean like recruited. Yeah, no, this is a brand new team. They picked up Evie. They've picked up Yankos. They're going to have Jack Spectra and Mersa look in the bot lane. They're going to have Ruby. I don't know who Ruby is. I'll admit. Then again, I don't follow. We've established I don't follow the LEC, or I should say the league formerly known as the LEC.
Well, I mean, technically it's both. It's the LEC, the league formerly known as the LEC.
Yeah. But yeah, that is the inaugural Team Heretics roster. That'll be debuting in spring. We'll see how well this team works. I'm curious as to how well Evie's English is. I don't recall him getting interviewed during Worlds and him speaking English. So I'm wondering how communication might work on this team. But on paper, it's not a half bad team. I mean, they've got some veteran talent here, and I think if they work past what I perceive to be communication issues, they could have a decent shot at the spring split. Unfortunately, we do have to go to... Where the hell is it? Why is it not uploaded on here? Of course it's not uploaded on here. Ay, Dios mío. We do go to the next item in the news here for our show this evening, and we have received news that Nuggery is retiring from professional play. As you may or may not remember, Nuggery was the top laner for most recently Damwon. He's been with Damwon for most of his career, actually. He started off with a Korean team called iGaming Star, was with them for pretty much just a split, a little bit over 8 months, but was there from March through November of 2017. Got picked up by Damwon in November of 2017 in the offseason, was there through 2020. Spent 10 months with FPS in China. And then came back to Damwon midway through the spring split this year. And pretty much did the fall split with Damwon. And after a little bit over, 5 years? Yeah, 5 years. 5-year career, he has decided to go ahead and hang it up.
I mean, you get it when some players, especially, they feel like they've accomplished all they can and they've kind of hit their ceiling, as it were. And you start thinking about winding down, and it's like you don't want to leave too late. I think this sounds like it's the case.
I'm kind of there with you on this. I mean, if you go back and look at his tournament history, right? In Korea Spring in 2018, his first year with Damwon, right? They came in runners up. In summer, they won. They won their qualifier at the 2019 spring promotion. In 2019 spring, they came in 5th. 2019 LCK summer, he comes in 2nd. Moving on, LCK 2020 in summer, they were first place. Obviously, we all remember Damwon won Worlds 2020. So, he is retiring as a one-time world champion. He won in his one split he did 2 splits in the LPL. In his second split in the LPL in 2021 summer, he won first place. Unfortunately, we all remember FPX choked terribly in Worlds 2021, and they were out super early in the tournament. Got eliminated in group stage. This past summer in the LCK, they took 4th place, and then they won the regional finals. And as Damwon Kia got eliminated in the quarterfinals at Worlds. So, I mean, outside of Worlds 2021 and the Kespa Cup in 2017, he really hasn't had a worse finish in any tournament except for quarterfinals, like the 5th to 8th spot. Like, he's consistently been a pretty top player for wherever he's gone. And I think, Worlds 2020 might have legitimately, winning that world championship with Damwon the first time around might have legitimately been his peak. And I think he's kind of thinking, okay, you know what? With Danny leaving, with Zephyr leaving, with Coma leaving, our subs out. There's a shakeup going on here at Damwon. Maybe it's my time to, hang up the keyboard and retire. But we got a report from Ashley King. There we go, as we get that on switched over there. He's retiring. He hung it up. Which, I say the best of luck to him, right? I mean, he is a Korean player. He has Korean citizenship. He does have to do his military service. It's possible he's getting it out of the way early. I mean, he is young. He's 23. Maybe he's deciding, you know what, I'm going to do it now before it gets worse to, go in, because we have talked about the geopolitical situation here on the show before. I mean, that could be it. It's possible he comes out of retirement in 2 years. I mean, look at Double Lift, right? Like Double Lift was retired for what, almost 2 years? If I remember correctly.
Thereabouts?
Yeah, Double Lift left TSM in 2020. November of 2020. So, yeah. Double Lift has been retired for 2 years. After that ridiculously poor 0-6 showing from TSM at Worlds that year. But like I said, I wish him the best of luck. We might see him come back in 2 years. You know, who knows, right?
Yeah, at this point, going in, doing your service, just coming back potentially with the fresh eyes and a clear head, and coming back into professional play, he just might. 2 years can work wonders.
Oh yeah, and he's a top of I think he's still got plenty left in the tank when he decides to come back, if he does so, right?
Right.
But the next thing I want to talk about as I get the tweet pulled up here. There's a lot of fucking buttons to press right now. Here we go. These have been fully confirmed because I know this isn't from the team, and my stance on. I try not to put tweets up on screen unless they're directly from the teams, but where DRX have gone, or where DRX is at now. Because as I briefly talked before on our last show, and we're kind of going to really get into now, Beryl is the only remaining player that has stayed on at DRX after they won Worlds. Out of all of them being free agents, the only player that DRX was able to retain was Beryl.
Kind of reminds me of that picture.
They must be giving him plenty of waifu money, that's for sure.
I mean, A, you're not wrong. B, this kind of reminds me of that picture where you have some of the guys on the 2016 Cubs celebrating that World Series win, but they were all in their current uniforms and all with different teams. I'm getting those kind of vibes from this.
Yeah. So Kingen left to Hanwha Life Esports, formerly known as Chovy Life Esports on this podcast, anyways. Piosic has left for more $ pastures in North America with Team Liquid. We're getting to that. I promise you. We got a whole fucking segment on Team Liquid.
Pastures, better pastures where the S's are $.
Yeah. Zeka has also gone over to Hanwha Life. Deft has decided to go to Damwon Kia. And Beryl's staying. We're gonna go over this more on our second part of our show tonight. Stay tuned for that over most of these Not a Network stations. But this kind of shit is going to kill League. Just because you won a world championship does not equal you being the best player in the world. You won a world championship, which demonstrates the fact that you are the best team in the world, right? And after all, this is a team game. But I don't think that necessarily correlates to best team means every individual player on that team is the best player in their position in the world.
I mean, you know how, and this is a perfect example with the tournament going on and stories when we get to part 2. Back in the day, like going up through the 2000s and into the 2010s where it really ended. In football or soccer, this part of the world, whenever a player had a tremendous performance at a big tournament, like Euros, Copa America, World Cup in particular, their sale value went through the roof because teams saw them more in mass at a big tournament doing all that, regardless of what they did for their club the prior season or through that season. Everybody thinks, okay, it's going to be even more. We got to go ahead and get this guy.
Yeah. And you're not wrong there. But like I said, I want to go into more of this on part 2 because if not, we're going to go into like a crazy ass tangent here. But needless to say, there is no dynasty, right? And that's part of what I'm going to talk about in part 2 as well. There will be no DRX dynasty as this team is definitely broken up. I wish all 5 of them individually the best of luck where they have gone to, right? You know, I think that for the most part, these players do bring a lot of added value to the teams that they are going to. But it's kind of an at what cost sort of thing.
Right.
But we'll get into more on that a little bit later. I have to load the next tweet up because this is legitimately check the damn tweets. I'm not kidding, folks, when I say we're playing check the tweets today. If you ever thought that there would be a day or a year or a show where news about Faker, who we are, or at least I am unadmittedly a little bit of a fanboy of, is not the top of the fucking trending news. Well, guess what? Today is that day, motherfucker. Because we're finally getting to the Faker news, and that is that Faker has eventually re-signed with T1 for 3 years. Look at the contract. Look at the signing. It's Faker with a triple-year contract. Come on, you can't tell me that you didn't expect that to you know.
Why do you think I had that ready?
I mean, even Excel's with me. Look at the cleanse. Look at the moves.
We already reset the counter, okay?
Yeah, but we haven't had a Faker reference in like since Worlds, okay?
Fair. Fair.
For anybody who was hashtag betting on Bovada on that, or like, they might as well have just ridden the under because we've zero the entire time. But after Faker has done his usual valuation of his worth on the market, he has re-signed with T1. I mean, there was never any doubt that he was going to leave T1. His entire brand identity is T1. He has a partial ownership stake in T1. Like, him leaving T1 would legitimately be like Steph Curry leaving Golden State at this point.
You're not wrong about that.
Like, Steph Curry's been with Golden State since he got drafted in, what was it, 09? I want to say.
Thereabouts?
Like, his entire fucking career, which has been a lengthy one, has been with Golden State. Just like Faker's 10-plus year career has all been with T1. Like, at this point, you know, they might as well give them, you know, T1 might as well give Faker one of those NFL lifetime contracts. Say, okay, here you go, 10 years, $100 million. Not that Faker would want $100 million, but
we get the idea.
Yeah, so 3 more years of Faker at T1. I don't think that's a surprise to anyone. At least it shouldn't be.
I mean, the return isn't the surprise. To me, the length of the contract is the surprise. Does he know something that John Q. Public does not?
I mean, if I'm not mistaken, the max contract you can sign is 3 years. There used to be a 4, and I think the Players Association got rid of it.
That's not the timing that I'm thinking about. Remember, we talked about this during our World's Cooldown.
I mean, how old is Faker now? Like,
isn't
Faker's 26.
Okay.
So if he signs for 3 years, right?
Yeah.
That puts him, his current contract expires November 17th, 2025.
Okay.
His birthday is May 7th, 1996.
So he'd be 29.
Yeah. So literally at the end of this current contract, he's going to be forced to retire and do his military service.
Yeah, because
there is no way. Like, I'm not going to say I know Faker, but I'm aware of the situation in Korea, and I think it's safe to say that we know Faker well enough as a person and a player that Faker is not going to try to put in for a deferment extension, or well, just a deferment in general. Actually, I think he technically has to put in for deferment already, but it's automatically granted until he's 30. But I don't think he's going to try to put in for, you know, that special deferment thing that BTS got that let them push off to 32. I don't think Faker's going to try to do that, especially he saw the shit that BTS went through, right? And if you know Korean culture, Faker is legitimately on the same level as BTS in mainland Korea.
Some would honestly argue bigger.
That argument can legitimately be made, yes. Like, in mainland Korea, Faker is equal to or bigger than BTS. And we've seen what BTS has done in their career. All the collaborations, wars, and just worldwide mainstream virality that and success that they've had, right?
Mm-hmm.
But people that don't know esports know who Faker is.
Yep.
Because he has single-handedly put South Korea on the map when it comes to gaming. He is one of literally probably the only people besides the members of BTS that could qualify for that special exemption in Korean law that can allow him to defer the absolute maximum, which is, I believe it's 32,
Mm-hmm.
because of his contributions to the good of the country or society or however they word it. But like I said, with the amount of shit that BTS got for trying to pull that earlier this year, then I don't think he's going to do it. Even 3 years time, I don't think he's going to do it. Faker has always been a very humble kind of person.
And this is why I'm so a bit surprised that he was doing 3 years. I figured at most 1, maybe 2.
I legitimately believe, and I say this with this, and with every fiber in my being, right? Faker is going to play the game until he is forced not to. Right? And not like I'm going to keep taking extensions so I can keep playing the game. I mean, he's going to hit 30 and he's going to say, all right, I'm going to go do my 18 months. And, well, hopefully it's still 18 months at that time and they don't change the laws further. But he's going to go do his 18 months and then he's going to come back and he's going to. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to play again for T1, but I have a feeling he'll be a coach.
I'd see him definitely more likely as a coach.
But that man is League of Legends, and he's going to be League of Legends until he dies. Like, he is going to legitimately pull, like, an NFL, right? He's going to play the game, then he's going to coach the game, then he's going to commentate the game. He's going to play until he gets too old to play, or in this case, he gets forced out because of military conscription. Because let's call a spade here.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to go back. He's going to coach the game until he either can't coach to his standards anymore or he gets forced out of coaching. Which, honestly, I think it's probably going to be forced out of coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Might try a comeback tour for a split or two.
Mm-hmm.
But it'll probably be too old. And eventually end up with an analyst or broadcast, or he'll either be a play-by-play or a color guy. And I think Faker's probably more of a play-by-play guy.
Definitely.
I would love to see him as an analyst because obviously that's what he's good at, is analyzing the game. But I have a feeling that he's going to be a play-by-play guy. I don't think well, it depends. If it's Korean broadcast, maybe he is an analyst. Like maybe he is color, right?
Oh yeah.
But if he's doing it in English or anything non-native Korean, probably just play by play.
Even them, I definitely see it more likely him staying home and them wanting to have him there rather than abroad.
Yeah. Oh, I don't think he'll ever leave Korea. I would be absolutely shocked if he left Korea. Maybe he spends a year at most in China. Probably coaching. Just like effectively his mentor did, right?
Right.
But in coma. But I doubt that he'll ever leave Korea. Now, we've been talking about it for a while now. We are up to the Team Liquid segment as I get the tweet loaded up here. I gotta find it. It's gonna be a minute. All right. Here we go. Sorry about that. All right. So, this is another thing that we're probably going to drag into. We are going to drag into the. Actually, no, we're going to talk. We didn't know. This is the entirety of this was going to be this episode. Right. We got a lot of shit to cover today, folks. Say hello to the Team Liquid roster, aka how to create an all-Korean roster on a budget and staying within Riot's rules. All right, so in the top lane, right, we have Summit. In the jungle, we you saw us mention it a little bit earlier. We have Piosik come over from, just came over from DRX. In mid lane, we have Harry. I think that's how you pronounce that. I'm honestly not sure. I'll probably be corrected appropriately once LCS starts, but that's okay. In the bot lane, we have Yeon, and in support, we have Core JJ. And in coaching staff, we have Marin, yes, that same Marin, and Rainover. Legitimately, Team Liquid has put together an all-Korean team.
And I thought Wolves were being bad with rating Portuguese players.
Yeah, Summit is a Korean import. Played on EDG. Or wait a minute, no, sorry. No, he played on FPX. He was on Cloud9 for a little while, then went to FPX. Actually, he was on Cloud9 in spring. Went to China for summer, and now he's back in North America again. But this is an interesting roster, right? Because not only is this roster legitimately stacked with Koreans, right? You have Summit, who is an import. You have Piosik, who is an import. You have Harry, which I'm pretty sure it's Harry because his real name is Harry, like Harry Broadhurst Harry, who is Australian and is probably going to elect for permanent NA residency with the new Oceania rules, but is of apparent Korean heritage.
Korean descent, if you will.
We have Yeon, who is North American residency, but also appears to be Korean. And then we have Core JJ, who was previously Korean and has now gotten his green card and under NA rules, or under LCS rules, now qualifies as a North American resident because he has North American legal residency. Not only is, like I said, this roster completely and utterly stacked, right? Let's look at the players individually on this roster, shall we? Let's start with the coaches, right? Marin, head coach, right? That name might sound familiar to some people because that is the same Marin who is the World's 2015 top lane champion with the first of the 3 titles that SKT have won. Back when Faker and EasyHoon were splitting time. Yes, that same Marin.
Man, they really went all out.
Oh, wait. But where's the fucking button?
But wait, there's more.
You beat me to it by a split second.
Got rain over, right? Rainover is a semifinalist. Yeah, semifinalist in that same Worlds 2015. And that was back when he was actually playing and he was a jungler. Right? Not a world champion. Okay, sure. But very high caliber player. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's clear support. Core JJ. Right? Oh, well, you look at that. A World's 2017 world champion on Samsung Galaxy. Runner-up, Worlds 2016 on Samsung Galaxy. Another World champion.
Sensing a major theme here.
And as we all know, Piosik, last year's World Championship jungler. Right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, legitimately, not only is this team stacked with Korean players, they all speak Korean, by the way, which is going to make me wonder if they're going to be communicating in Korean on stage. and whether or not Riot is going to have to make a rule about teams only communicating in English. Because as far as I'm aware, by the rule books that I've seen in the past and have had access to, there is no rule that says that the teams have to speak English in their team comms on stage in the LCS. Obviously, they can't make such a rule for international tournaments because, that would never fucking work. Because not everybody knows English. But
70% of the world, if not a little bit more now, speaks other languages.
we'll be surprised to put it to you this way. I would be surprised, but I equally would not be surprised if at the end of spring split we see a rule come out from Riot: North American teams must speak English during or on comms in game. Wouldn't surprise me. But this is a stacked team in every single, like, if there was ever a super team, right? This is a super team. You have a world champion coach, you have a world champion support, you have a world champion jungler, you have a high ranking import top laner who's a world semifinalist, quarterfinalist, did I say something like that?
Semifinalist, I believe you said?
Yeah. Actually, no, sorry, I take that back. Summit's actually never been to Worlds. But I'm interested. I'm definitely interested to see how this Liquid roster ends up, because we've all seen what happens when people make the super team to end all super teams, and well, when you look at it on paper, this is another one of those teams, right? You've completely stacked the deck in the most technically legal way possible. Right? You have a former Korean world champion support who, now don't get me wrong, Core JJ loves the US. He recently got married, he's got his green card, like he wants to stay in the US, right? Like he wants to become a American citizen. You got import top laner and an import world championship jungler. You've got a Australian Korean mid laner who you've promoted up from. I'm not sure if he is from OCE or the academy. I'd have to look into him a little bit deeper. And then we have Yeon, who I know came up from academy. He was with 100 Thieves Next, which was their academy team, for 6 months. He got drafted by CLG in the academy draft that happened in 2020. And then he spent 2 years on Team Liquid's academy team before getting called up. At least Yeon did. I know Harry came up from their academy roster as well, but I don't know
How long did Harry stay on there? Yeah, Harry was also on their academy roster for 2 years. Before that, he spent a year with Order in Oceania, spent a year with Gravitas, spent 4 months with a team called Intuition, and spent 8 months as pretty much the start of his career, the team called Legacy Genesis, and did a very short stint as a bot laner at the very, very start of his career for about a month on a team called Team4Not.oce. So, like I said, it's a stacked team on paper. We'll see how the stacked team performs because we've seen how stacked teams end up, being. But you absolutely cannot deny the fact that this is a high caliber team, no matter how you slice it. Right? This is definitely a high caliber team. And somebody at fucking Team Liquid had some serious fucking big brain fucking thinking going on when they put this together. 300 IQ roster.
Like, this is legitimately, it legitimately is a 300 IQ roster. Like, this is something that honestly North American teams, I'm sure, have been trying to figure out how to do for years now, and Team Liquid finally figured it out. But the added insult to injury here is not only did they manage to get 5 Koreans and a Korean coach, they managed to make 3 of them fucking world champions. Another one a world semifinalist. Like, how much fucking better can you get than that? I mean, you want the whole team to be fucking former world champions? Like,
I mean, that might be next if they had the money.
and if they could find somebody that could do it. But we'll see what happens, right? This is definitely going to be an interesting season for Team Liquid. I feel like the whole super team thing has bit them in the ass too many times, and they're kind of cursed in that regard. So I don't have high hopes, but at the same time, to quote Lil Nas X, don't ever say it's over if I'm still breathing. Racing to 5 Koreans and we're speeding. Ready to win worlds. We're start walking. You're not high enough for me to be able to pull this shit off.
No, I'm not.
I already knew that's what was going to be said next.
Now, had you done that, like, say, half hour ago, would have been a different story.
But that's the major news, right? There's been a shit ass load of fucking signings. Departures, signings, all sort of shit. I'm gonna just like run down signings here. As at this point, there's a lot. I also have a cheat sheet if I can fucking find it.
We will talk about confirmed rosters real quick. Let me. I want to see if I can find those again. Um, all right, so we now know 100 Thieves roster, right? In the top lane, got Tenas Closer, Double Lift, Busio, and their head coach is Kass. Cloud9, we know their roster is locked. They're going to be fielding Fudge, Blabber, Diplex, Berserker, Sven, and Mithy has been promoted to their head coach. CLG has not made any changes to their roster at all. They are sticking with Dokla, Contracts, Palafox, Luger, and Poom. We know Evil Geniuses their roster is going to be Someday, Inspire, Jojo Pune, FBI, and Vulcan. And they have a new head coach in Freeze. We know, obviously, we announced Team Liquid's roster: Summit, Piosic, Harry on Core JJ, and new head coach Marin. TSM have announced their roster. They're going with Solo, Boogie, Maple, Neo, Chime, and Chawi as their head coach. Immortals, we know their roster. They made a whole bunch of announcements recently, too. They're going to be Revenge, Kenby, Blaze Olive, Tactical, Fleshy, and head coach Mabry. So we're still waiting for, I believe we do. Give me a second here. I want to say that's official. Give me a second. Give me just a second here. Sorry.
Yeah, I see the infamous research face.
Okay, yeah, I thought that was approved. Okay. Yeah, so Golden Guardians did announce their roster. They're going with Licorice. They're going with Licorice. Give me a second here. Sorry, I'm having some trouble. Yeah, they're going with Licorice, River, Gory, Stixay, and Hoohee. And I know they just announced their head coach like yesterday, or their new staff in general. I gotta find that tweet again as well, but I know Inero's still with the team as well. I think Inero's still coaching them as well. So
I know they brought on Spooks. I'm trying to find that tweet if he was being brought on as head coach or what. But all right, I can't find it right now. I'm not scrolling through like super crazy to try to find it. So I believe we've got everybody now, right? Let me I know Dignitas hasn't released their roster information yet. I think that's the last team we're waiting on right now. It's going to be Dignitas, and then hold on a second. Unfortunately, there's just been so much, like our Discord, our backend Discord, there's just so much news. It's been dumped everywhere. Everything got out of order.
Well, you had to go ahead and
we've had to, and because
everything.
of technical, I was going to say, and because of all the difficulties with getting on air, and we've kind of missed shows. We've had to restructure the show several times over. So. All right, so FlyQuest has announced Prince as their AD carry, and Vikla as their new mid laner. And they've got Ayla as their support. I know they pretty much did a roster dump at the end of the season. So it looks like they still... Yeah, it looks like FlyQuest is still trying to get their hands on a jungler, it looks like, because Jose Deodo, that was with them, is not even in the LCS anymore. He is actually gone off to what was it, Spain? I'm trying to look through our thing here. There's too much fucking shit here. He left for Latin America, and he is going to be jungling for Estral Esports. But yeah, no, it looks like FlyQuest still needs a jungler. At the very least. Before their roster is solidified. So yeah, it looks like we're just waiting on Dignitas and FlyQuest to solidify their rosters at this point. So that's what we got on signings. Outside of North America, major signings. Like I said, Jose Deodo got picked up by a Latin American team called Estral Esports. Where's the... Give me the tweet. I know we may have mentioned that Hillisang, that was formerly on Fnatic and was there for forever and a day, he left Fnatic, got picked up by Mad Lions. Major pickup there. We already talked about the DRX roster. So that's what we got as far as major signings go, and the known LCS rosters currently. For those of you who are wondering what's going on with Blippo, because we know that he was formerly with Team Liquid, he put out a tweet himself, which got retweeted by the Team Liquid Twitter account. That TLDR, he's going to be doing full-time content with Team Liquid while trying to land a spot on an LCS team. He's trying to get picked up by Summer Split, which leads to believe that he didn't get any offers, and he's probably having some difficulty getting out of his current contract with Team Liquid. So more than likely, we probably won't see Blippo playing unless a team is really willing to buy him out between spring and summer, because they did that badly and they think that he's going to be an improvement, or until Blippo's contract with Team Liquid expires. We did mention Yankos leaving G2. Hillisang, 5 years at Fnatic. He left, ended up with Mad Lions. Like we saw, Jensen left C9. So sadly, no more Body by Jensen memes. It's like one split, and that's it. Yeah. Rip Body by Jensen. Now discontinued. Far as I know, he has not been picked up by anybody yet, and the only place he can probably end up is Dignitas. So, seeing as FlyQuest have announced a mid laner, they just need a jungler and possibly a top laner to round out their roster. Dignitas's roster, we don't know jack nor shit about. But everybody else is pretty much locked. So Jensen's probably going to be out this split. And I kind of feel bad for the guy, because he's an amazing mid laner. He's probably up there next to Bjergsen or equal to Bjergsen as, best mid laners of all time in North America. And it's a shame that people are, skipping out on his talent. As I talked about earlier, Mithy left Thieves and is taking the head coaching job at Cloud9. I know made with Cloud9 for a short while, from pretty much for a year. He played with them from December of 2020 through November of 2021. He pretty much he's been a coach with them for a while now, so good to see him come back and be their head coach. Hoping that I'm hoping for success for Cloud9. They look like they have a good roster on paper. I'm still a little burned on what they did with LS though, but
that isn't going to go away easily.
No. I mentioned it earlier, but Coma, the former athletic director, that was his official title, at Damwon Kia, he's gone. As far as we're aware, he's not been picked up by any team yet. We know Abadage was out at 100 Thieves. He got replaced by Bjergsen. And as far as we know so far, Abadage hasn't been picked up by any organization yet. He's currently a free agent. Might be going back to the league formerly known as the LEC.
So the LEC.
Because he actually is a LEC import. He's originally from Germany. And that's pretty much it. Mad Lions got rid of Armut. That was a pretty big thing. I don't know where he's ended up, if anywhere yet. And that's pretty much the major names, major tweets, major departures. So, an hour and 30 minutes later, that's free agency in not so much of a nutshell so far.
Or, as I call it, Wayment Part 1.
Yeah. So we'll back with more stuff right after these messages.
I mean, if you're up for it, I'll be up for it.
I mean, we might as well do part 2. I mean, the patch notes, we got a whole fucking month to do patch notes. The sooner the better. Yeah, sure. But we got a whole fucking month to cover the patch notes because they're the end of the year fucking patch notes. So I think we'll do part 2 tomorrow. How's that sound?
That sounds just fine because I've got some time.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning and I'm getting tired.
Yeah.
And yeah, we'll cover part 2, which is the rest of the news, like actual league news and Riot news. And boy, do we have a lead-off story for tomorrow. You thought us opening on John Williams tonight was bad. Yeah, guess what? We got to open on John Williams tomorrow, you sons of bitches. Because boy, we had big news already, and then the news got even bigger. But, yeah, so that'll be the show for now. This has been part 1 of a 3-part series of this week's Parallel Convergence. Where we've covered free agency, not 3 agency. I don't know what a 3 agency is, and I don't think I want to know.
What?
It sounds like some shit. It sounds like some shit we talk about on Point of View, which will be tomorrow evening.
I mean, it doesn't entirely. It could be 3-team soccer or 3-team cricket. That sort of agency. Where is your head at?
No comment. This has been Parallel Convergence. I'm Andesian. That's Squid Sports Head. Find us on Twitter at the Andesian, at Squid Sports Head. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you tomorrow, ? It's either going to be part 2 of this or point of viewer or possibly both. I have no fucking idea. But just tune in when we go live and you'll find out, just like we will. We'll see you tomorrow. Good night. As I find the button to take us out of here.
I'm about to say there's no outro.
No, we don't have an outro currently.
All right, then.
The intro has to get redone because the outro got corrupted.
All right, then. Well, that's it. That's the show. Hitting the button. Good night. See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.